ScreenFlow by Telestream is my favorite application for creating screencasts. I'm going to share with you my favorite features on this next episode of My Apple Podcast. For the purpose of this presentation, I'm going to switch microphones so that I can record my desktop. The first feature, Chroma Key. So I have a video here in my library. I'm going to drag it to the stage. Oops, drag to, get rid of that. And it's a video I took a while back with a green screen behind me. Now I want to edit out this green screen. So with the video selected, I'm going to go to Video. I'm going to scroll down to Video Filters and I'm going to click the plus symbol. And you see I have a range of options, but I'm going to click Chroma Key. And Chroma Key takes out that green. Now if you ever need to modify the color behind you, you can click on the color swatch and then you can run your cursor around the surface until you find the right adjustment that you need. Okay, the next feature, cropping your video. Now with your video selected on your timeline, you're going to go over to the inspector and make sure that video is selected, and you're going to scroll down to cropping. The first option is left, so I'm going to scroll from the left until I'm satisfied with the crop, and then I'm going to scroll from the right to do the same thing. Now you also have the option to do this from the bottom and from the top. So now that I've applied the Chroma Key feature and cropped my video, I can now add my background. So I'm going to go to my library and I'm going to drag a JPEG right underneath the video and then pull it to match the length of my video. Hi everyone, welcome to My Apple Podcast, the podcast that makes a personal connection to everything Apple. Okay, the next feature I want to cover are actions. Actions can be applied to video clips and audio clips. So let me show you an example. I'm going to go ahead and select this video of myself, which is on top of this background here. But I want it to come into the picture from the right side of the screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually move myself outside the frame. And then I'm going to select this video icon again. And then I'm going to click Add Video Action here at the bottom, where you have the option to choose it here too. You can click the settings icon and then select Add Video Action, or you can just simply click Add Video Action here at the bottom. And you can see that an action has been applied to the video clip. The next thing is to simply add the action. So I actually want to come into the screen like this. That's going to be my action. So let's go ahead and play that back. Hi everyone, welcome to My Apple Podcast, the podcast that makes a personal connection to everything Apple. You can also make adjustments. Just to say I didn't want that to come in that quickly. I can grab that little action clip on the left here and just drag it out a little to make it a little slower. So now when I go ahead and play that back, hi everyone, welcome to My Apple Podcast, it's a lot slower. Okay, the next feature I want to demonstrate is audio actions. First, let me go ahead and drag another video clip to my project. I want to add that right in front of the clip I have here of myself. This is going to be my title clip. I'm then going to go ahead and drag this music track on top of both clips. And when I get to about this part where I come into the frame, I want the music to fade out. I'm going to select the audio track. I'm then going to go up to not the video icon, but the audio icon right next to it. And I'm going to add an audio action. Here I can add it clicking on the settings icon, or I can just scroll down to the bottom and add it here. So you can see a little yellow bar has been added, but now I have to add the action. What do I want it to do? I want the audio to fade out. So I'm going to take the audio slider here and just drag it to 0. I'm then going to go ahead and make some adjustments here by dragging it out a little further so I can get a gradual fade out. And let's go ahead and play that back. Hi everyone, welcome to My Apple Podcast, the podcast that makes a personal connection to everything Apple. Okay, the next tip, splitting your clips. Now with the clip selected, you can see my audio file extends way beyond those 2 video clips. So I want to get rid of that part on the end. I want to split it. So you can do one of 2 things. You can go up to Edit and then click Split Clip. But you can see on the right there's a shortcut key. All you have to do is just hit the letter T. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to select the audio file and just select T. And it's deleted. And that way I can just get rid of this other part. Okay, so you may have noticed throughout this presentation that you're able to see my keystrokes as well as hear the sound of those keys. That can only be done when you're actually doing a screen recording. So let's just say you wanted to add a screen recording to your project. You would go to File and then add additional recording. And I can't add it right now because I'm actually doing a recording as we speak. And once you have a recording set up in your project, as I have here, you can then select the video screen recording, and then you can go to Screen Recording Properties. And here you can choose to show mouse pointer. You can adjust the size of it. You can determine whether you want the click effect to be radar, invert, or none. You can choose the type of pointer, circular, light, dark, or default. You can control the opacity of it. You can choose to have sound clicks or not have sound clicks, and to show keystrokes. Okay, another very nice feature is called callout properties. With callout properties, you can add callouts right in the middle of your project. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually select a recording that I'm doing for this particular episode, because it works best when you've done a screen recording. If you're just doing it with a straightforward video, you'll only have the option to add call outs with freehand. With a screen recording, you can use all of the call out properties. So I'll show you how this works. So I have a video clip selected here, and I'm going to go up here to call out properties. Now you'll notice everything is grayed out. Well, I have to actually add a call out action. So I'm going to click here and add call out action. And now all of my properties, my controls appear here, and I have a lot of different options. You can see on the screen already that mouse cursor is selected. I can choose to adjust the background how opaque I want it to be. In case I want it to be completely black and just follow the cursor. I can choose to blur the background to add to that effect. I can choose to zoom up, so I can zoom into an area that I happen to be focusing on, following the cursor along the way. And that's one option. Or I can choose foreground window. Foreground window basically works when you have multiple layers. So if I had another image on top of this image, then that's where the foreground window option comes into play. But since I don't have that, I'm not going to use that. The other option is freehand. With freehand, you can actually go in and then manually just draw the area that you want to highlight. So I can just do a little circle here, and I can choose to highlight this portion of the video that I'm watching. Another nice feature that came with the latest version of ScreenFlow is nested clips. Basically, with nested clips, you can combine multiple clips into one. So for example, let me just go ahead and highlight the 2 video tracks that I set up here at the beginning, along with the background color. Now I'm going to control click on that, and I'm going to choose nested clips. And now they're one clip. So now I can go in and edit both those clips at the same time. So let's just say, for example, that I want to go in and add a video filter to this nested clip. So select video, go to video filters, and maybe I'll just go to distortion effect, and let's go with pinch distortion. Now I'm going to go ahead and maybe alter the radius a bit to kind of exaggerate the perspective. Let's go ahead and play this back. And you notice that both clips now have the same effect. And finally, the most fundamental feature of ScreenFlow is adding text. Now, right in this little section of this intro video that I created where I'm sliding into the frame, I also want to bring in some text at the same time. And there are two different ways you can do it. You can just go to text and then add text box. Wherever the cursor is placed, that's where the text box will land. So let's just go ahead and do it that way. If I scroll up, you can see that the text box has been added where the marker is. And now with text selected, I can just go in and just type my text. And I'm going to type in my Apple Podcast. And you'll see that by default, it comes with a color background, which is actually not bad. I mean, sometimes it helps the text to stand out. You can go into text properties then and make adjustments. You can, of course, control the type of font that you want. You can control the size, the position, if you want to center it or flush left. You can change the color of the font, obviously. If you want to add a different color, you can add an outline to the font if you need it. And you can choose to get rid of the background color. Or if you like it, you can still make adjustments. If you click on the palette here, you can actually go in and change the opacity to be even lighter or even darker, depending on what you prefer. Well, that's it for another episode of My Apple Podcast. Check me out at myapplepodcast.com, and also check me out on my YouTube channel at youtube.com/myapplepodcast. See you later.